of how I felt before and how I feel now, and where I think present state of my, in this case, espresso journey has been. I was curious about the mysteriousness of espresso. Like, why do people care about it? We think that we're gonna love everything about it. That's not the case all the time. Espresso, it intensifies it. It like somebody is shouting in your face. But if you want to go down that rabbit hole, take your time, enjoy it, and see for what it is. We live right now. We're doing pretty good right now. I hope that you're doing pretty good. Okay. So people are always wondering what the topic is. And I think today's going to be, I won't say different because they should all be different, right? But I guess what I'm saying is that this one's going to be interesting. This is more so like a introspective, or kind of think about things of how I felt before and how I feel now, and where I think the present state of my, in this case, espresso journey has been. As you guys already know, I'm a pour over guy, true and true. I love pour over. It's a lot of fun. I think, to me, that's what coffee is all about. Pour over, drip, understanding what coffee is, getting the clarity of coffee, understanding that some coffees are better than others for whatever various reasons. You can play around with grind sizes and temperatures and all that good stuff. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes it can be frustrating. Sometimes the coffees can be disappointing. However, it's still the thing that I go to 80-90% of the time. And espresso, I don't really talk about it that much because I don't really do it as much as it may seem on the channel or in these, talks together. And because it's just not my cup of tea. It's not my thing. And I think that's okay. I think as we go through this whole coffee journey, or just life in general, we do have things that we do like and things that we don't like. And we like more of than the others than not. In this case, espresso for me. So what am I really talking about here? I guess it's one of those things to where a lot of times when we talk about things, we either know something about it, or we think that we feel the way that we're going to feel if we were to get that thing. And in my case, I experienced espresso. I know when I was doing my thing with pour overs, going deep into the rabbit hole of understanding what a pour over really is, I was curious about the mysteriousness of espresso. Like, why do people care about it? Since you are hopefully enjoying the video, you like, subscribe. What's the whole thing about it? A lot of times whenever I see people talk about espresso, that's the only thing they talk about. Coffee and everything else doesn't really matter whatsoever. And it's one of those things to where I just was very curious about what is so magical about it. So I went to coffee shops. I tried it. I didn't get it. Still didn't understand what people were going after. And then I decided to just get an espresso machine. And I didn't get any espresso machine. To me, I got one I believe to be a lot more fun. It'll put you in your place quickly. And it was more so dependent on me. And the one that I chose years ago is right here. The Olympia Cremina. I keep saying it wrong, I think. But whatever the case, you understand what I mean. But it's a lever machine. It's from Switzerland. They've made these machines for 50, 60 years. They're still making them. And I really do enjoy making espresso from this machine. I think if I had like a semi-automatic, I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much. But I don't know. Again, this is what I'm talking about. These are some of the things that I do know. So I'm just going to kind of just speak to the things that I do know. Okay? And there's been a lot of big journey that I've gone through this whole espresso machine. Got it off eBay, got it rebuilt, played around with it. And people always said that it will take over a year to actually really learn the machine or master it. It did take a lit year to learn the machine. I would say it took me another 2 to 3 more years after that to kind of mostly master what it can do, what it's good at, things that you can do differently in it, and all that good stuff. And it's been a challenge. It's been a struggle. And the reason why I'm saying that is because at times, when a lot of times when people think about espresso, they think about, Italy or the nostalgia or the type of coffee that it actually produces. And to me, it's kind of in an interesting place to where you either love it or you hate it. And even if you hate it, you can always make like a milk-based drink out of it and it tastes just fine. And it's also one of those things where it gives a lot of coffee people, if they don't want to put like milk and sugar into their like pour over or drip coffee, it gives them a reason or to want to do a milk-based drink. Again, I have no problems with a milk-based drink, but that's what I've seen a lot of. It's like people were like, oh, okay, it's espresso. It's just strong fucking coffee. That's what it is. And then you mix it in with different milks, different degrees of all that stuff. But I guess what I'm talking about here is that I've learned a lot about espresso through not really caring about it so much. And it's an interesting journey just because a lot of times in life we go through this thing to where we think that we're going to love everything about it. But that's not the case all the time. Meaning is that when we go through things, we realize that we only like certain things about things. And then when it comes to actually doing something each and every day, we tend to not gravitate to it as much as we thought that we would. And that's the case for me with espresso. I do like it. I do think for the most part, if you had to have like a Final Four type of tournament, which brew method is probably the most fun to do or funnest, I would say it would be espresso, hands down. I don't know if it's the most rewarding because sometimes, a lot of times, the coffees kind of tastes this really intense type of way. Yeah, sure, you can add water, but I'm just talking about more so like in this 2-to-1 purist type of form. But when you get it right, you get it right. When you get the grind size and then the extraction, the pooling, and then the way it comes out of the portafilter, especially if you have something like this. This is a, I forgot what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about, where you can see the actual coffee coming together. It's so magical. It's so interesting that somebody and some people thought that this is what we think of coffee. This is the way we enjoy coffee. This is the way that we express ourselves, or even just going in and out trying to get a quick cup of coffee to move on with their day. And we I wouldn't say bastardize it, but we've taken it up a notch to the point where we have timers and all this stuff and different lever machines. And then it's quite amazing how we can really amplify this thing in coffee to the point to where, what is it again? Are we talking about beans and water? Are we talking about flavors and extractions? Are we talking about enjoyment? Those are some of the things that I think about a lot of times when I'm actually making a cup of coffee. And in this case, espresso. I wonder how much I'm going to really enjoy this coffee, depending on how acidic it is, how much more it presents itself to me. And then I think about the actual coffee itself, because coffee is just coffee, right? Somebody roasts it, and then you're presented with it. And then you can decide how you would like to actually have it. Sometimes we do pour overs, sometimes we do French press. Sometimes we just mash the shit out the beans and put some water on it, boil it or not boil it for a couple minutes, and then we strain it out and we drink it. Sometimes we just have an espresso shot or two. Sometimes we may have it with drink, milk and sugar and all that good stuff. We have it the way we want to, but I guess what I'm really saying is that coffee turns into a different type of personality, or it has a different type of personality when it actually comes to espresso. It intensifies it. It's like somebody is shouting in your face. They really want you to know who you are. They're letting you know who they are, and they're unapologetic about it. That's what espresso is to me. And when I'm thinking about this in a kind of weird philosophy type of way, I think that's one of the things I don't really care about with people. Let me explain real quick. I don't want to go to this soapbox of hating people or anything like that. I've already done that. I guess what I'm saying, I don't really hate people, but again, a question for another day, is that I like to get to know people. And through that, I like to come back to conversations and situations. They tell me about their life. I listen and I tell them about my life and all that stuff. We're just getting to know each other. It may take a couple of meetings with each other. It may take a couple of years. But to me, sometimes when you are dealing with people and they're just like loud, obnoxious right in your face, it's a turnoff to me. It's like, what are you hiding? And sometimes I get that with espresso. It's like loud, it's intense. There's like no even ground with it. There's no like playing the field, so to speak. Meaning that you only get one level with the espresso. Yeah, sure, you can dial it down with some water and some milk and all that stuff. But I guess what I'm saying is that it's just there. And it's intense. And it's one of those things to where I haven't really gotten to the point to where I appreciate that all the time. And those are some of the things that I kind of think about. And as I'm talking about this right now and just thinking about it, is that that's probably just where people are sometimes. They just want to let you know that they are who they are from the get-go. You know, they're here for a good time, not a long time. And that's kind of like more so like an appreciation of people, but also appreciation of espresso. And we don't have to enjoy everything the way it is, but I think we can appreciate it for what it is. For the good, the bad, the things that we do like about it, the things that we can kind of manipulate the whole thing with. So it's kind of weird just talking about this because I don't know if I'm really talking about coffee anymore. I wonder about that sometimes. Is that, are we talking about coffee or are we talking about life sometimes? Because it's all the same, right? It's all entwined. We figure out what we like, what we don't like. Even within the thing that we do like, we like certain things better or more than others. And that's the case with me in espresso. What about you? Do you like espresso? Do you do it all the time? Do you have that same type of thinking that I do with the intensity, the vulgar, the personality that espresso presents itself in order for you to really understand it? Or am I just up my ass and just not really talking to the way to where it is actually making sense to a lot of people? I think I'm talking about something. I think now that I put it out there, it's really interesting that now we're in a better place to where we understand things even more so. And as we dive into like improving our craft, getting better gear, and understanding all the things that we're trying to do, does that really change the way I feel about espresso? Probably a little bit. I do appreciate it a lot more now because of some of the gear that I have, in particular the grinder. The grinder allows me to actually taste more clarity in espresso, which I didn't think that was really really possible, because espresso, again, it's just one level. It's just like intense. It just tells you exactly how it is. But I'm tasting now the intricacies, the little layers, the little things that I didn't think espresso could do. So I am learning more about that coffee's personality. And as I say that, when somebody's loud and intense in my face, I just need to step back and listen to them, see what they say about things and understand the things that they're trying to do and trying to tell me, because they're speaking directly to you. So this is me just talking. And I thought I was going to talk more about the regrets of espresso making. But I really don't have any regrets. I'm just glad that I was able to get into espresso and to make my own opinion about it. And I'm glad that I've done that. And again, this is my opinion. If you don't have an espresso machine, that's perfectly fine. But if you want to go down that rabbit hole, take your time, enjoy it, and see it for what it is. Don't let other people tell you this is the way they feel about espresso and the way they like to make espresso. You can determine that for yourself. So I advise you to go on your own journey. You may have the same thoughts that I do. You may not. And that's perfectly fine because this is your journey. So this is me just talking like a madman, I guess. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.